Hey guys, this is Misty from the Book Rat, and this is my In My Mailbox book haul for September 11th, 2011. I promised you a Borders book haul last week, and I'm not going to disappoint. Shalina from Muggleborn commented not to go too crazy. Too late by the time you commented, Shalina. I definitely did. But before I get into the big Borders haul, I'm going to show you a couple review books that I got. So the first one is The Future of Us by J. Asher and Carolyn Mackler. Came in a cool little box, which I thought was neat. I won this from Library Thing, and I'm excited about it. I haven't read anything by Carolyn Mackler or J. Asher, though I do have 13 Reasons Why. I think I have a book by Carolyn Mackler in my wish list too. I'm intrigued by this because it's two alternating storylines, and it's just a really weird premise that kind of intrigues me. This one comes out in November from Razorville, so you can look for it then. For Hell of a Halloween, I got Red Velvet and Absinthe. This is a book of short stories, an anthology of paranormal and supernatural romance, hardcore romance, let's say. It's edited by Mitzi Zurito, who wrote Pride and Prejudice Hidden Lusts, which is going to be in next year's Jane and June. I love this cover a lot, and I will be giving a copy away during Hell of a Halloween, so if that's your thing, keep an eye out. All the rest of these I bought. I did end up breaking down and getting some hardcovers. There were a lot of hardcovers that were in the bargain bin, so they were already marked down, and then 60 to 70% off of that. I actually got 2 copies of this. Don't laugh. Burning Up on Tour with the Jonas Brothers. Now, I'm pretty sure you know this isn't for me. I got a copy for my neighbor for her birthday, which is coming up, and a copy for my sister, but she doesn't know that yet, so don't tell her. Turncoat by Jim Butcher. This is one of the Dresden Files books, and I think it's further along in the series. This is a fairly recent one, and I've only read the first book, but it was $1.20, so I picked it up. Looking forward to eventually getting around. I don't know if they have to be read completely, like strictly chronologically. If you know, let me know. Needs So Beautiful by Suzanne Young. Just been really hearing great things about this, so I figured I'd go ahead and pick it up. Gone by Lisa McMahon. This again was one of the bargain copy books, so I spent $1.20 on it, and I have the other 2 books in hardcover. So, The Curse of the Wendigo by Rick Yancey. This is the sequel to The Monstrumologist. I'm sure you've heard by now that Simon & Schuster put the kibosh on this series. Who knows if they'll bring it back. If it does well enough, maybe it'll end up being a Family Guy and come back, but yeah, I thought that was kind of sucky because The Monstrumologist was a Prinze winner. Genesis by Bernard Beckett. This one's been on my wish list for a while, or was in the past, and I couldn't remember if I had ever ended up getting it or not, but it was only $1.20, so I figured I'd go ahead and pick it up, and if I did have it, that I'd give it to someone else, but I didn't have it, so it was a good thing that I'm compulsive. Red Glove by Holly Black. I just bought White Cat not that long ago, and it was in hardcover, so I figured I'd go ahead and get the hardcover and let them match. I haven't read the series yet. I didn't read White Cat yet, so I guess we'll see. Holly Black can be a little bit hit and miss with me, but I've heard really great things about the story, and I love the covers. There's the one for White Cat. This last hardcover I've been seeing everywhere, and it was $1.20, so I figured I'd go ahead and pick it up. It's The Radleys by Matt Haig. It sounds really just creepy and quirky, and I like that combination, so I figured I'd give it a chance. It has little blood splatters on the back, which I like. Sometimes I make myself sound really weird. This is the stack of paperbacks. First is I Am America, and So Can You by Stephen Colbert. I have read bits and pieces of this, and it ended up being less than $1. So I figured I'd go ahead and pick it up just to kind of have around and be a funny coffee table book. This next one, I don't know about my brain. You might remember the last time I did a big Borders haul. I picked up This Side of the Grave by Jeanine Frost because I thought that it was the first book in the series, and it was the 5th. So when I went this time, I figured I'd look and I'd try to grab the first one, which is Halfway to the Grave, I believe. But so I saw this book and I thought, that's the first book, which is what I did the first time. Yeah, So I bought it again, thinking once again that it was the first book. This is the 5th book. I now have 2 copies of the 5th book and 0 copies of the first one. Really, brain? So now I have 2 copies. I'll probably give one away during Hell of Halloween. The Demon King by Cinda Williams Chima. A lot of people seem to really, really love this, and this is the UK version. And I have no idea why the UK copy was at a US Borders, but I like it better, so I'm really glad that it was. And I got the only copy. This was the only one there, so. Saving CC Honeycutt by Beth Hoffman. I've heard really good things about this one, and I thought it sounded kind of quirky and fun. Kiki Strike, The Empress Tomb by Kirsten Miller. This is book 2. I thought it was the first one, but it's not, of course. But I've heard good things about the series, I believe from Kristen of Book Monsters, so I figured I'd go ahead and pick it up. Spice and Wolf, Volume 1 by Duna Hesekura. This is not the graphic novel, this is the actual novel that the graphic novels are based on. I do want to get the graphic novels though. And I did start watching the anime. A little bit, bits and pieces, and I thought it was fun and quirky. House of Many Ways by Diane Wynne Jones. This is part of the Howl's Moving Castle series of books, which I haven't read, but they didn't have Howl's Moving Castle, so I figured I'd go ahead and pick this one up. I've heard great things about all of her books, especially from Fiona. So you just heard my doorbell ring, and it was a package. So I'm going to open it on camera, and we're going to find out what it was. This is Hades. It's book 2 in the Halo series by Alexandra Adornetto. There is a giveaway up on the blog for this that ends on Sunday the 11th, so go enter that with a quickness. But haven't read the first book, now I have the second. Back to the Borders Hall. Pump 6 and Other Stories by Paolo Bacigalupi, and I'm sorry if I said that wrong. I think I own everything by him now, and have heard great things about all of them. Haven't had a chance to read any of them, but looking forward to them for sure. I'm pretty positive I'm gonna like them. Skullduggery Pleasant, Mortal Coil. I believe this is book 5. Oh my god, I hadn't looked at the back of this. That's creepy. Anyway, I think this is book 5. I have the first book and read it, and it was really super fun and cute. And this was the only one they had there. Spindle's End by Robin McKinley. I really like this cover. This is one of her fairy tale retellings, and Robin McKinley can be kind of hit and miss with me, especially with the fairy tale retellings. But when I love her, so I figured I'd go ahead and pick this up. I've been curious about this one because I've heard great things. Early to Death, Early to Rise by Kim Harrison. This is part of the Madison Avery books. I don't know if they have a title name. I believe this is book 2. Correct me if I'm wrong, and Lord knows I normally am. But I have book 1. I picked it up not that long ago, and it was signed, which I hadn't expected, so I thought that was cool. But I figured I'd go ahead and pick this up. It was in the bargain bin, and it was really, really cheap. So that was a whole lot of books. I think I'm done with the Borders Halls. I might go once more, depending on whether I have the money to. But yeah, so that was it for this week. Let me know what you got in my mailbox, and I'll see you next week.